Good morning, class. As yesterday I started explaining you Chapter 9 Beauty and the Beast Part 1. Now today we are going to continue with the same lesson. As yesterday I have explained you that in the play the merchant's goods which were coming and which were there in the warehouse. The goods which were there in the warehouse have been burnt into ashes, and the goods which were being loaded at the ship was being lost at the sea, and they became poor. After hearing this worst news, they all, Merchant and George, decided to go and find some work. When Merchant asked what did their daughters want, then April and June said they want new jewelry and new clothes for them, and Beauty just wanted his father's safe return, and then too, if he wants, he could bring her a rose. We have ended till here. Now let us continue with the play, that is scene 3 from a book. As we have completed our chapter on 101 yesterday, now let us turn the page and continue with scene 3 today. This is on page number 102. Scene 2. This scene is in a dark forest in the middle of a night. This scene is in a dark forest in the middle of the night. Merchant: "Oh dear, I fear we are lost, George." Merchant said, "Oh dear, I am fearing that we are lost." George: "I think we are, father. We would never have left the door and had taken the track through this forest." George said, "I think we are. And we should have left the road and taken the track through this forest." Merchant: "It's very dark here, isn't it?" Merchant said, "It is very dark here." George: "Dark and cold too." There was cold also. "I am so tired, I could sleep on the grass right here." George said, "I want to sleep on the grass over here." Merchant: "You may not need to, son. Look, it is that a wall ahead of us. You have to look that in front where we are going is that there a wall?" George: "It is, father. Perhaps there is a house here. Let's search for the entrance." George said, "Let us search for the entrance through this wall." Merchant: "Here it is. It is not a house, George. It is a castle." Merchant said, "It is not a house, George. It is a beautiful castle." George: "There doesn't seem to be anybody here. I wonder who owns it." George is saying that it is all alone. I don't know who owns it, that whom this house belongs, this castle belongs to. Merchant: "Never mind who owns it. It will be safe in here and can rest for the night." Merchant said, "Don't mind who owns it or whom it belongs to. We will stay in safe here, and we can rest at night also." The merchant pushes open a great door, and they go inside. The merchant pushes the door and they went inside. George: "Look, a courtyard and a garden." Merchant said, "Here's a courtyard and a garden too." George: Merchant: "How beautiful it looks in the moonlight." Merchant said, "How beautiful it looks." George: "I am going straight to sleep." George said, "I am going to sleep, father. I can hardly stand." George said, "I can't stand over here because I am feeling too much sleepy and I want to sleep." Merchant: "Yes, son, sleep. I shall do too very soon." Merchant said, "You go and sleep. I shall too try to sleep as soon as possible." George finds a ledge, that means an underwater ridge, and lies down to sleep. George finds where he want to sleep. The merchant walks round in the garden, and the merchant didn't sleep. He went round to the garden. Merchant, stop smelling a rose. Stopping to smell a rose. Merchant stops and smells a rose. Ah, that smells sweet. Picking the rose. At least when we return, I will have a rose for the beauty. Merchant picks a rose and he smells it. And he said, when we will return to our home, at least we will have a rose for the beauty. There's a rumbling growl, and a large figure appears at the other end of the garden. There's a rumbling, that means a deep sound which comes from the castle, and a large figure appeared like this. Beast, how dare you, sir? Who gave you the permission to enter here? Beast. That was a beast. The man in a large figure who appeared, that was the beast. Beast said, who gave you the permission to enter here? And who said you could pick my roses? And who have asked you to pick my roses from here? Merchant, I am so sorry. We are lost in the forest and we came into your castle for shelter. Merchant said that I am really sorry. We were lost in this forest and we have came here for shelter only. Beast, this is my castle. That is my rose. You are a thief, sir. Beast said, this is my castle only and this is my rose. You are a thief for me. Merchant, I am sorry. I picked just one rose to take back to one of my 3 daughters. Merchant said, I have only picked a single rose to take it back to my 3 daughters. Beast, well, for that you will die. Beast said, well, for that you will die. Merchant, oh no, please forgive me. Is there no way you will spare me? Merchant said, please forgive me. There is no way I shall spare you. Beast, well, you say, and you have 3 daughters. Beast said, as I have heard that you have 3 daughters. Merchant said, yes, I do. Beast, then bring one of them to me. Beast said, I can only spare you when you will bring out of 3 daughters, will you bring me one to be my wife, and I shall spare you life. Beast said, if you bring one of your 3 daughters to me and daughter of yours will be my wife, then I will spare your life. Seeing George asleep on the ledge, and who is that? George was seeing, and who is that? After the beast saw George sleeping, then he asked to the merchant that who is that. Now as we complete here, let us move to 3rd page. Merchant, it is my son George. Merchant said, he is my son George. He is travelling with me, looking for work, because we are in a great difficulty at home. Merchant said, he is my son George and he is travelling along with me. He is with me. We are both looking for work because we are in a great difficulty at home. Beast, difficulty? We all have difficulty, and I am large and ugly. Beast said that difficulty means what? We all are in difficulty. I am large and ugly. People call me the beast. People call me beast. But you will be in more difficulty and will die. Beast said, but you are in more difficulty because you will die if you do not send one of your daughters, possibly to me, my wife. Beast said, if you won't send one of your daughters to me to be my wife, you will die. I shall give you a box of treasures. Treasures means a box of metal or gems to help you. But make sure you return or I will find you. I shall find you. But make sure that you will return me the box of that treasures. That means the box of that gems. or I will find you from anywhere. Merchant. Yes, yes, I promised, beast. I mean, sir, thank you. Merchant said, yes, I promise you, sir, that I will bring you one of my daughter. The beast departs and returns with a chest full of treasures. The beast departs from there. That means the beast could go inside to the castle and returns with a chest full of, means returns with a box of gems or metals. He places it on the floor in front of the merchant. He places it in front of the merchant beast. Now sleep. Go in the morning and do not forget your promise. Beast said, now you can go and sleep and for night today and go in the morning back to your home, and don't dare to forget your promise. Adapted from a French fairy tale. Now, as we complete here with the Beauty and the Beast part 1 here. Now, as we are having 2 parts of Beauty and the Beast, in the second part of that, Beauty and the Beast part 2, we are going to continue with the same story. As this play ends over here, as when the Beast said to the merchant that if he can go and sleep in the night for night today in the castle, and will bring one of his daughters to him for marriage. Now, as we complete a chapter over here. Now, homework for you all is to read this chapter thoroughly. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Thank you.